So I'm here to sort of talk about Prezi, what it's about, how I can wow you with it, and where you might be able to see where you can use it, hence for the win. It's not the other way around. That would be what the F. It took a bit longer than I expected, but, you know, the F word there being fun. I know that's gimmicky. I'm sorry it might be a little bit lame for you, but I don't know, I think Prezi's kind of fun. Right, so let's get into it. I think you can have more fun with Prezi than with your other presentation tools, not to name points, but you know, PowerPoint being one of them. I'm sure we've all suffered a death by PowerPoint. We might even be guilty of presenting a death by PowerPoint, and I'll skull there. So unless you're a cat, or perhaps James Bond, YOLO, you only live once. You know, I said lame, didn't I? So, why would you use Prezi? As you may have seen in these 3 slides, it's non-linear. You can move around, you can show something different, go anywhere you want on the canvas that's provided. So, you saw I zoomed out to the island, now we're swimming in the ocean. You can showcase your ideas differently. You know, you have a different feel to something. It doesn't have to all look the same. And hopefully you deliver something memorable. I still remember the first Prezi I saw. It was about 3 years ago. And, you know, since I saw that, I thought, well, look, I've got to get into this. I've got to give it a go. I'm still working on it. Prezi allows you to structure your presentation quite differently. Jackie's was an excellent example of structuring your ideas together properly, and then, you know, she was zooming out, and then you see the bigger picture and the bigger picture again. Mine is not so structured. Mine is more to dazzle you and get you all revved up about Prezi. The other thing that I've learned through this, that was an animated GIF. It's not animated, so one drawback. But we'll move on. It's a ninja and a pirate. I mean, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Where am I? Let's keep going. Okay, Prezi, hopefully, you're all still looking, so that's kind of good, helps you keep your audience. And it has a number of tools to help you do that. The zooming and the panning and the spinning is part of it. You can also include pink lines with circles on the end, with a slight bend in it. No. Diagrams and drawings, lines, you can include all of these into your presentation, just like you might in a PowerPoint. Images. If you've got images on your computer, you can bring them in. I thought that was a very appropriate one. You can also just search Google Images. Prezi has it inbuilt into its interface. Just do a search. I searched for Prezi, and this was one of the images that came up, and then it just imports it into your presentation. You can also change the orientation of them, make them bigger, smaller, whatever. And yeah, so that was kind of cool. Even though I think there is a grammatical error in that, so it wasn't mine, obviously. And audio and video can be brought in as well. Now, Prezi was originally a Flash-based tool. So it was, if you convert your video to FLV, it could import them quite easily. But now they have, just like with the Google Images, you can bring in a YouTube video. You can just type YouTube link and it will preview it for you. Or you can go through a search thing and it will find the YouTube video and place it there for you. Now, of course, this one's not playing. What's the point in that? If you drop it on the path, it will play automatically.
You make presentations to share ideas, showcase work, or even to persuade your audience to do something.
Thank you. Now, that was a video on Prezi, obviously. You can have a look at that later. So, Prezi allows you to explore, and that's why I went with this island theme. You know, we're exploring the island a bit, and we're flying around and stuff. I don't know if they had helicopters back in those days, but we're using one. But there are a whole bunch of different templates that you can use with Prezi, and when they started out, there was a few really basic ones that just had a couple of circles here and there, and you would place your ideas in them. Now they have gone into these 3D ones. This probably isn't the best example. Oh, wow, already. And, you know, so you can have there's one with the beach, there's one with clouds, you can fly through them and everything. So really, sky's the limit. Also, all these text, the fonts and everything, you can change through different applications of them through all the different templates that are on offer. So you can really customize how your Prezi will look. So yeah, and as I said, explore, move around the canvas. So, you know, we're on the ridge of a volcano, but no one has to know that. It's just orange and pink. Use the environment, and a good example of that, well, not really, but, you know, there's an example of how you might use it. So the attention span, for the lava flow, being that people will drop off by the end, and people won't care what I have to say when I get to about that point. But be careful, and jagged rocks, you know, be careful. Why? As I'm showing you, all this spinning and zooming is really cool, but is it serving a purpose? And I was going to have sick bags added to everyone's handouts, but unfortunately we didn't have any. They didn't even have one for me, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, as I said, this might look cool and fun, but if you're going to do this on a regular basis, I think, you know, it's going to get a bit gimmicky. It's a bit like having the gunshot for every point that came up in the PowerPoint, you know, chapow, chapow, chapow. This is going to get really monotonous really quick. So yeah, you don't want your audience to get sick. Anyone feeling queasy? Sorry, okay. All right, so if I've wowed you, how do you get started with it? First place to go to really would be the Prezi website. Go to prezi.com and have a look around. It's really cool, really easy to get into. On their homepage, they have a section of sort of featured presentations that you can look at. And of the top 3 tabs, click on Explore, and you'll find all of these categories here. There's some there for education. And you know, you can see, you sort of get an idea there. That preview of the guitar, for example, is one that's pretty much based around music, and they travel along the guitar. So, you know, it allows you to give a broader perspective before you even get into the presentation. There's 2 there for design. Both of them are very good, and if you are going to go there, I really recommend you have a look at Free Falling through Prezi. That's a really good one, really good example of the 3D template as well. Look out for the skydiver. How much? It's free. And if you use your UWS email address to register, you get the educational bundle. And I'm not selling this to you. I don't have the set of steak knives. But the difference between this and an ordinary free license, you get the 500 megabytes of storage space on the Prezi website as opposed to 100. You get to make your Prezis private, so you can make them online and they're not automatically shared. So, you know, if you use the ordinary license, they will be shared. People will get to see them. That might not be a bad thing, but, you know, you might want it to be kept. And you can have your own logo included on it. By default, Prezi includes a Prezi sort of branding because you're using their tool, but as an educational thing, you can put your own one on. I haven't done that here, but yes. And for the measly $5 a month, you can get those few extra features, but, you know, give it a try on the free one first, I would say, and see how you go with it. So yeah, what are you waiting for? Get Preziing. It's fun, and just a signing comment. Figured that's it. So thank you.